Netflix's Red Notice is an absolute joyride from start to finish. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Netflix's brand new movie release, Red Notice, which has A-list mega superstars Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, and it also happens to be Netflix's most expensive movie original that they have produced. And I really enjoyed this movie. I had such a good time with it, and you never would have thought that they produced and filmed the whole thing during the pandemic, as it's just super impressive. It has massive sequences, it's super global, and it's just such a blast of a movie, and I cannot wait to break it down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, Red Notice is a bit of an action comedy heist movie with a bit of a difference, as we have an FBI agent who is after two art thieves who themselves are after Cleopatra's 3 legendary golden eggs. And at points it does feel like a bit of a buddy cop movie, but also it is so much more than that, as this movie has so much mystery, so much intrigue, such awesome action sequences, and a lot of wicked chase sequences as well. And then on top of all of that, there are just plenty of twists and turns across this movie. You are thinking it's going to go down one direction and then suddenly it goes down another one, and it just really does keep you on the edge of your seat throughout. Now from a positive point of view, like I said, this movie is just super fun. It's got a brilliant cast attached to it, who are all actually really hilarious, definitely bringing their A game. There are some awesome chase sequences in the movie, literally from the get-go of this movie right until the end. There are wicked chase sequences, wicked action sequences, hilarious sequences as well. For example, Dwayne Johnson being in an awesome Porsche car that just suddenly crashes. I think that sequence was absolutely wicked. And like I just said, plenty of twists and turns that really do keep you hooked throughout. And then we also have the heist sequences, which somewhat level down the action, but really do increase the intensity, and all of the stealth-based things that these two characters are doing come across brilliantly, and all of the mystery and the intrigue is really brilliant too. I mean, if I was to be a little bit nitpicky, I would say, they could have explored the backstory of Cleopatra's eggs a little bit more, and they could have given Gal Gadot a little bit more as well to do in the first half of this movie that is pretty much dominated by Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson. But that being said, they have to set up that aspect of the movie before Gal Gadot's character comes in. So from a storyline point of view, I think this movie is actually really impressive. So from a cast and characters point of view, they've got brilliant cast members. Literally, Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot are super mega stars, and they just bounce off each other so well in this movie, and you can just tell that they are having such a good time making this movie, and in turn the audience has a great time watching this movie. So let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Ryan Reynolds, who interestingly was the last actor to join this movie, yet carries it so brilliantly. You could argue that he is a bit of a main character and the main lead as the Nolan Booth character, but that being said, all three of the main characters definitely are able to hold their own in this movie, and Ryan Reynolds feels like he's playing Ryan Reynolds, as he's just so hilarious. A lot of Deadpool type humour in this movie, and like I said, bounces off all of the other characters really well. He's a bit of an art thief that is trying to make a name for himself, and he is the only person that knows the location of the third and final Cleopatra egg, which literally the entire world are trying to find. Next up we have Dwayne Johnson, who is playing the FBI agent, John Hartley, and he bounces on Ryan Reynolds' art thief character so brilliantly. At points, like I said, it does feel a little bit like a buddy cop bromance movie, and Dwayne Johnson just has so much presence and so much charisma in this movie. I feel like if it was any other star, Ryan Reynolds would definitely overshadow them, but I feel like Dwayne Johnson is really able to hold his own, and interestingly, he was the first person to sign on this movie and just carries it and co-leads it so fantastically. Next up we have Gal Gadot, who is playing the Bishop, who is the more superior art thief. Like I said, she's not in it that much in the first half, but more than makes up for it in the second half, where she really rounds off the core trio so brilliantly and really can handle herself in this movie really well. We also have Ritu Arya, who is from the Umbrella Academy, and she is playing the Interpol inspector that is always hot on the trail of these three characters, and is the classic detective and the incompetent detective that is always trying to find these characters and is always adding a little bit of jeopardy and a lot of intensity, but obviously all of the three lead characters are always outsmarting this detective. But that being said, she is able to hold her own in this movie as well. And then finally we have Diamantopoulos, who is playing a character called Soto, who is a rich villain that definitely adds a lot of edge and a lot of humour for the lead characters. But that being said, he is very heavily overshadowed by the three core leads. And so from a cast and characters point of view overall, they are just absolutely fantastic in Red Notice. So from a visuals point of view, honestly, Red Notice is just absolutely excellent. I feel like the visuals in this movie are absolutely extraordinary. I mean, all of the traveling alone, going to all of these different countries and locations, just looks absolutely beautiful. And then on top of that, you have wicked action sequences and chase sequences, and also have some awesome heist sequences as well. And on top of all of that as well, all of the music just really does add to the excitement and the intensity. And so I feel like from a visuals point of view, Red Notice is definitely up there with the best. So from a comparison point of view, I feel like Red Notice takes a lot of inspiration from the Oceans franchise, from the Indiana Jones franchise, from the Now You See Me franchise, and also Michael Bay's The Island movie as well. That being said, I feel like it's so much stronger than the other SAS Red Notice. It's also a lot stronger than Infinite, Army of Thieves, and Hitman's Bodyguard as well. And so surprisingly, I feel like this action heist comedy movie is absolutely brilliant. So overall, I had an absolute blast with Red Notice. I was hoping that this movie would be really wicked, and I'm really pleasantly surprised and pleased to say that it was an absolute joy to watch this movie. I feel like the stars did such a good job in all of the different roles. They just did them so brilliantly. All of the action stuff was wicked. All of the high stuff was really cool. All of the locations that you went to with all of these different characters was absolutely brilliant. And then most importantly, all of the twists and turns really did keep me engaged and really did keep me hooked throughout. And I really enjoyed this movie. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a massive 8.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you thought of Red Notice, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.